The Sith rose to unimaginable power for centuries under the rule of two. But why did this brilliant strategy ultimately doom their empire? And now let's uncover what happens when a group achieves its goal but has no plans to maintain it. The rise and fall of an empire. The Sith's rule of two wasn't just a doctrine, but a masterstroke in political and military strategy. Yet its catastrophic failure reveals timeless lessons about leadership, ambition, and the perils of unchecked power. How could a philosophy so effective at toppling the Jedi leave its creators defenseless? This tale of ambition without foresight is a cautionary story for any would-be ruler. The story of the Sith also mirrors our challenges. What happens when a group achieves its goal but has no plans to maintain it? As the Jedi stood for order, the Sith represented chaos, and even the most powerful fell in chaos. Next, we'll dive into the origins of the Rule of Two and how it transformed the Sith Order. The origins of the Rule of Two. Darth Bane, the visionary behind the Rule of Two, lived during chaos within the Sith Order. His contemporaries were consumed by infighting, with countless Sith lords vying for dominance. The result? The Sith weakened themselves, leaving them vulnerable to the Jedi Order's systematic eradication. To end this cycle of self-destruction, Bane devised the Rule of Two. Only two Sith would exist at any time, a master to embody power and an apprentice to crave it. This system ensured a singular focus on growth in the accumulation of power. The apprentice's eventual betrayal and overthrow of the master became a ritualized transfer of knowledge and strength, ensuring that each generation was stronger than the last. Bane's genius wasn't just in limiting numbers, but in fostering secrecy. By disappearing into the shadows, the Sith could rebuild without drawing the Jedi's attention. This strategy laid the groundwork for centuries of manipulation and intrigue, culminating in the rise of Darth Sidious. But how did the Sith rebuild their power in secrecy? Let's explore this in the next chapter. Strength in secrecy, how the Sith rebuilt their power. Over a millennium, the Sith operated in the shadows, infiltrating the highest echelons of society. They became senators, bankers, and industrialists, using the Republic's bureaucracy against itself. This slow, deliberate corruption allowed the Sith to control the galaxy from within, a strategy exemplified by Darth Sidious's rise as Supreme Chancellor. The Jedi, blinded by their dogma, failed to notice this creeping threat. They had grown complacent, mistaking the absence of war for peace. Meanwhile, the Sith patiently bided their time, orchestrating conflicts like the Clone Wars to weaken both the Republic and the Jedi. This phase of their strategy was a masterclass in manipulation, showcasing the Rule of Two's effectiveness in ensuring focus and unity. Yet this very secrecy also planted the seeds of the Sith's eventual downfall, as their narrow focus on conquest left them unprepared for governance. Next, we'll uncover the fatal oversight that doomed the Sith, their lack of a vision beyond conquest. The fatal oversight. No vision beyond conquest. The Rule of Two was unparalleled in achieving conquest, but it provided no framework for what came next. Darth Bane's focus on short-term goals, destroying the Jedi and seizing power, left his successors to grapple with the complexities of governance. Ruling a galaxy requires more than power. It demands diplomacy, economic strategy, and the ability to inspire loyalty beyond fear. However, the Sith philosophy of domination left no room for these considerations. Instead, power was concentrated in two individuals, making the system inherently unstable. This oversight became glaringly evident during the reign of Darth Sidious. Despite his brilliance, Palpatine ruled through fear and manipulation, fostering resentment and rebellion across the galaxy. The Sith's failure to build sustainable systems of governance made their empire brittle, crumbling under the weight of its own contradictions. How did Palpatine try to overcome these limitations? Let's find out in the next chapter. Palpatine's era, breaking the rule, breaking the empire. Darth Sidious sought to transcend the Rule of Two by establishing the Rule of One, a doctrine where all power resided with a single Sith Lord. To enforce this, he created subordinate groups like the Inquisitors and the Emperor's Hands, individuals trained in the dark side but denied the full power of the Sith. This strategy was meant to eliminate the threat of betrayal from within, but it also diluted the Sith's philosophy. By abandoning the Rule of Two, Sidious undermined the system that had ensured the Sith's survival for centuries. Palpatine's arrogance was his greatest weakness. He believed himself invincible, overlooking the possibility of Darth Vader's betrayal. In a single act of rebellion, Vader not only destroyed his master, but also the fragile empire built on fear and secrecy. The Sith's reliance on centralized power meant that the loss of one individual, Palpatine, spelled the end of their rule. Next, we'll analyze the unintended consequences of the Rule of Two and how they led to the Sith's downfall. What went wrong? The rule's unintended consequences. 1. Lack of succession planning. The Rule of Two encouraged apprentices to overthrow their masters, ensuring constant instability. 2. Over-centralization of power. The concentration of authority in two individuals left the Sith vulnerable to betrayal or unforeseen losses. 3. Hubris and complacency. From Darth Gravid's destructive actions to Sidious's overconfidence, the Sith repeatedly underestimated their vulnerabilities. 4th, absence of governance, doctrine. Beyond conquest, the Sith had no unified vision for the galaxy, leading to chaos and rebellion under their rule. These flaws were not just oversights, but intrinsic to the Sith philosophy, which prioritized power over stability. In their quest for domination, the Sith created a system that was both their greatest strength and their ultimate weakness. In the conclusion, we'll reflect on the lessons we can learn from the Sith's failure. The Rule of Two was a revolutionary strategy that enabled the Sith to achieve their greatest victory, the destruction of the Jedi and the rise of the Galactic Empire. Yet its failure to provide a framework for stability and governance doomed the Sith to collapse. Ultimately, the story of the Rule of Two is a reminder of the dangers of short-sighted ambition and unchecked power. Even the most brilliant strategies require a vision for what comes after the conquest. Perhaps if Darth Bane had foreseen the challenges of governance, the Sith could have ruled the galaxy indefinitely. But in their relentless pursuit of power, they ensured their destruction, proving once again that the seeds of triumph often carry the roots of defeat. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the themes and characters of this epic universe.